Here's a question. Let's see how well you do with this one. What are the elements of a dispensation?
What are the elements? Elements of dispensation. What are the elements of a dispensation? Correct divide.
I'll give you the first one.
Okay.
Event.
Oh, okay. What are the elements of dispensation? Events are chronological.
No, that's general materials. Okay. It's okay. This is a tough
Experience.
One. No. Look.
Human responsibility, human test. Yeah, experience. That's human test. Human failure. That's experience. Under that's experience. Yeah, divine.
Yeah, but we're not doing the position chart right now, so you can't just say experience.
Oh, okay.
Follow these elements. Okay.
Oh, okay. Events, human responsibility, human test, human failure, divine judgment, and divine grace. Why there is open close parenthesis in it?
Because keep that in mind, because I asked you a question later on that relates to that, and I don't want to give it away yet.
Okay.
All right, so Janet, I'm going you to fly over Hong Kong, okay?
Yeah.
I want you to do the Dispensation of Innocence and say, what is the event that began the Dispensation of Innocence?
What is the event? What is
the event that began the Dispensation of Innocence?
When God talked to them in the garden?
When God placed man in the garden.
Blessed man.
Or you could say creation, but he's delegating responsibility through man to rule over his creation. So the event is how it begins, okay?
Oh, yeah, sure.
So what was humanity's responsibility in the garden?
To rule over God's creation in the garden.
Right.
And
good. And so what was the test?
The test is God commanded them not to eat the tree of life in the midst of the garden.
Right. And so what was the failure?
The failure is they eat the fruits of the tree that knows life and death. The tree.
Okay.
The fruit of the tree.
What was the divine judgment?
The divine judgment, they are cast out from the garden, but before that, God gave them hope. Even they are cursed, but they have future hope. Even though God cursed from the garden.
What is this future hope?
That there's a seed from the woman that will be sacrificed for what they have done.
How do you know that there's sacrifice mentioned in the passage?
Because it says that it bruised. I don't know what that text, but it says bruise.
Okay, well, it says the serpent, right?
Oh, yeah.
And the heel, right?
Yeah.
So you have a picture of the serpent getting stepped on, right? Getting defeated. But before that, the serpent attacks the heel. And where do snakes bite, or where do serpents bite? They bite at the heel, right? And so it's a deadly wound, and so you're saying there's a death, right? You're saying there's a sacrifice, there's a death there. But the primary idea behind it is that the seed would overcome the serpent, right?
Oh, what verse is that?
He would crush the serpent.
He would crush. What verse is that?
It's around Genesis 3:15 and following.
Oh, okay.
So, okay. So that's the hope. And you're right, you brought it up that she's going to have a child, right? Okay, good. So that relates to the grace aspect. How, I don't have this question on here, but I'm asked it last week. How did Adam show faith?
Show faith?
Yeah. How did he express faith based on the passage?
Yep. Express faith because when they have kids, then they know how did they know how to sacrifice God. So
Well,
I think.
that's later on.
Oh, okay.
What did Adam call his wife?
Oh, what did Adam call his wife? Eve, right? The
Yeah.
flesh of my flesh, the bone of my bones.
But why was she called Eve?
Eve because because he is one with him.
The Bible says because she's the mother of all
Oh, the
living.
living. Oh, yeah.
And it's kavah in the Hebrew, I think.
Ava.
So he calls her that, but she doesn't have any children yet.
Yes.
If we're reading it, so that's why it's faith. Adam believed the promise of the hope that you mentioned, that the seed would come.
So what your question?
Because God also said that they would have pain in childbearing, which means that they would have a child.
Yeah.
Even though they should have died, right? I mean, they could have died right there, and God could have started over with humans.
Oh, yeah.
But instead, God provided the substitute with the tunics of skin, which implies a sacrifice. Okay?
Yeah,
and we'll come back to that later on.
So that's your question about hope, faith?
Yeah, it all ties together. Their faith in what? Yeah, faith in God. Okay?